ready? Well, it's already shaping up to be a weird week.
It is. It is.
I don't know. I don't know why. Uh, I don't know how, but it really is. And this weather, it's balmy. It's
73 the other day.
Yeah.
In North Dakota, broke a record from, I guess, the 50s.
Well, yeah, and obviously it's not that now, but they keep threatening that the weather pattern is going to change, but uh, I haven't seen it yet. Now they're saying, "Oh, it'll be right around Thanksgiving. It'll be right." So we'll see. But we need
Something else that might be changing is tariffs, and along with that, on automotive news, Japan. Now, get a load of this, Eric. Some of the cars they're manufacturing here, they may actually send them to the Japanese market, which I found out new car sales in the country of Japan is about 4.5 million, which surprised me. But
Wow.
they're number three. Of course, the United States is number one, then China, and then Japan.
Yeah. 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 Well, I know they're down. They'll probably be down again next year, or at least 90%. You know what I saw in town today in Williston, North Dakota? I saw a Fiat.
Hmm.
I saw a newer Fiat, which looked like an 86 Ford Escort.
Right.
So way to go, Fiat. Yeah, very European retro.
Yeah, my third youngest brother had a Fiat out in Tacoma, Washington, and it's good he had mechanical knowledge. He needed it.
Yeah.
And you know what the acronym is for Fiat? Fix it again, Tony.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. I've heard that one. Okay. So, I don't know. We've got a bunch of nonsense going on in the news. It's starting to get old. It's the same old playbook every time. You know what's going to happen, right? So they run out of actual points to talk about. So then they got to fall back on the Epstein files again. So this time Trump said, "Okay, release them. You're not going to hurt me any."
This this Epstein deal, I was watching some old clips about it, and before Trump was even reelected,
Yeah.
There were certain Democrats that wanted it to come forward, some that didn't, and they had the power to do it. But I don't know all the particulars about it, but I think you're right. It's kind of like the sideshow, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
And that's why I think it's time. Just release it all. Look, if a couple of Republicans go down, well, then they go down. There's, this is just, it's getting out of hand because it just keeps falling back to the same old thing. And I can't.
Well,
it's
not going to disrupt the Clinton marriage because she would already booted him years ago. So it can't be that devastating for him. Now, there may be some other folks that aren't going to be happy campers.
Well, no, there's going to be a lot of people that aren't happy campers, but I just release them all, and then we don't have to worry about it,
and we can move on for the holidays.
Yes, absolutely. So we can think about something positive. And listen, if the audio is a little wonky, I'm having problems with my recording setup. It keeps dropping volume for no reason. It's really weird. So I don't know what the deal is there, but I'm trying to fix it as we are talking here because, again, wow. Okay, this is getting nonsensical.
While you're fighting with that, we just had a $100 car, and most of you car people know what that is.
That was not $100. That was a $1 car
with bungee cords trying to hold the trunk down, leaking some types of fluid and stuff going by. And remember how I always used to joke? They get out here to North Dakota, unemployment rate 2.5, it's lower than the nation by average. and they'll come out here in $100 car and end up working in the oil patch. And in about 90 days, 120 days, we'll put them in a new vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Or slightly used.
This time of year, it's definitely 120 days because
Yeah.
things are slowing down.
Yeah. WTI, West Texas Intermediate, around $60 a barrel. And
Right.
you and I both know we love it. We love it up in the high 70s, low 80s, and things really start jumping.
Well, I mean, and we're just seeing some other stuff. We know, like ConocoPhillips, they're going to be shutting down for 2 weeks this month, 2 weeks next month. So, I mean, it's like, it's like winter break. If you're in school, they all just get to go home for 2 weeks. But
Hey, but we're excited. We got a lot of growth here in Williston, a lot of new franchise restaurants and that coming in. We got the roadway almost completed. That'll help a lot because, as I mentioned before, I have a lot of clients up and down that road, and they're up in their TV commercials and their advertising to overcome some of that traffic jam that's been caused. But the weather has been on their side, the construction folks.
the weather has been amazing for those guys, and that even though they're painting lines, there's a long way to go. I mean, they probably won't landscape until spring, and that's okay. But I just, it's time. It's time they get done because it's a hassle, and there's some, in that intersection. If you're not driving a truck, boy, it's hard on your car.
Well, we're truck country out here, over 65%. And speaking of automobiles, in the next segment, if we have a little bit of time, I'd like to talk about the repossession rate in this country. It might surprise you.
Yeah, well, I mean, and we've talked about it before, but I'm sure it's probably getting worse.
It's getting a little bit worse, and then of course, credit card debt has God, I think it was 1.4 trillion, just astronomical. But a lot of folks during the government shutdown, they probably had to, especially the government and workers, to get those American Express and Visa cards out.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's nothing else they could do. Now they should be able to pay that off because they're going to get their back pay. Yeah. But still, when that happens, you end up not paying it all off. Something else comes up. So yeah, credit card debt is probably going to end up being higher than it was supposed to be because of the government shutdown. But there's a lot of different reasons. But again, around here, with the oil prices are staying lower, and I know, that's great for all of America, but it's not great for this little pocket. I tell you, we need them a little bit higher. They're starting to lay down workover rigs, and and they do that. I'm not panicking because they do that every year, and then every year, the big layoffs, and everybody talks about it, and then by spring, as soon as it thaws out, everybody's back to work again, and they put the workovers back up.
And Eric knows as well as I do, when it comes to the oil field, and we had mentioned over 48 billion to this state, and about 42 to 44 billion with our AG, our farmers and agriculture, all of that. But I got to tell you this: 23. I looked this up. We were having just a record. I wouldn't say it was the big boom, but it was a small boom. But we had a GDP of 12.4%. Can you imagine if our country as a whole had a 12.4? It'd just be off the chart.
Well, of course, but that's never going to happen because you have. Yeah, well, we know you have the left side.
Yeah, did you? I want to mention this too, and we talked about it a week or so ago when they stopped the SNAP, what we used to call the food stamps. I had no idea 42 million Americans qualified. So I researched that a little bit. There's some areas, if the family made $50,000 a year, and remember that used to be that was a good pay.
Yeah, that was decent money back in the day.
Yeah, $50,000 a year, and you got a family of 4 or 5, you qualify from the numbers I saw.
Wow.
On their program. But I thought, my gosh. So definitely across the country, we need to get those wages up.
Yep. Okay, we got to take a break. When we come back, Well, it's the same old thing because it's the same old thing in the news. That's just the way it goes. KTGO 1090 and 92.7, the flag, hang tight. Okay, so now this I'm gonna have to. I don't know what's going on all of a sudden. I don't know if it's because of YouTube or whatever, but that's not good. So I am going to, let me see here. Do I amplify it or just level it? Just gonna level it. There we go. That's better. Okay. Export audio. Show one. Okay, I don't know if anybody's been able to follow us from Facebook to YouTube. I have no idea right now, but we're going to try to find out here in a second. How we doing? Do we have, I don't know if we have anybody watching or not watching. I can't tell. So we go here. Let me see here. Okay. Alrighty. Get that going. Yeah, I think it's working. So there we go. But let me. Okay, all right, there we go. Get rid of that. Put that back up there. Crazy. Okay, ready? Let me see something here. Second. Where's that one? Okay. Okay, we're back. Drew, I didn't hear about this story until today, and it's been ongoing. So, an off duty pilot, I think for Alaska Airlines, he was off duty, but he was in the cockpit and they're flying, and he tried to shut the engines off.
What?
Yeah, yeah. And let me see here. Judge sentenced Joseph Emerson to credit for time served, of course. Hold on. And supervised release for 3 years at a hearing. Guess where? Portland, Oregon. The guy tries to kill a plane full of people by shutting the engines off. An employee, a pilot, if you could believe that. And what did they do? Well, they just, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, he's done enough time.
Well, you know what would make me feel better when I'm on one of their flights is if the pilot's therapist was in first class.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
I could get to him right away in case we're going into Mount Shasta or Mount Rainier or something.
Yeah.
I'd like the therapist there.
Well, I mean, that's kind of crazy. So now what? Now the U.S. Marshal, that's the Air Marshal. Do they have those anymore? Do they have to learn how to fly airplanes just in case? That is insane that they didn't just give that guy 50 years or something crazy. He tried to kill a whole plane full of people. I don't understand that at all. How does that not a way bigger problem than time served? And I'd have to look, like I said.
Who knows?
But Portland. So there you go. Oh, okay. So October of 23, and they blamed the behavior on a mental breakdown caused by hallucinogenic mushrooms.
Oh, the old mushroom tea.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. Yeah. He had to, and he had
many car commercials I've written with that excuse.
Yeah, he He pleaded guilty in September to a single federal charge of interfering with a flight crew.
Oh,
That's all. He
he
tried
is
to,
the flight crew.
yeah, and he tried to shut the engines off.
Yeah.
Amazing. Could you imagine? You're could you imagine you're flying all of a sudden just boop, the engines shut off on on a 727 or a 747? Just think about that. I mean, because those things just become bricks in the air without those big engines.
Well, I'll tell you what, some other things that are becoming bricks are these EVs sitting on the dealers' lots in this
Yeah.
country. I watched a deal by Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha,
Right?
and he was talking. He'd been watching the car industry for 50 to 70 years or whatever it is. And he said, and he was right on. He said, a lot of people don't realize that the dealer did not pay cash for that $50,000 EV. He has it on what's called a flooring plan.
Yep.
It's financing. So that particular EV is costing him anywhere from about $300 to $600 a month, depending on his program. And when you take the big three, and then even some of the imports saying, well, Mr. Dealer, the reason you're not selling EVs, we don't want to hear about the tax credit going away. We don't want to hear that people are worried about the distance. We don't want to hear about on the trucks, if you're towing a heavy load, will it decrease your distance? We don't want to hear all the excuses. We want you to sell them. And we know they've been sitting here 180 days.
Mm-hmm.
And the dealer, guess what? The dealer then pushes onto his sales managers and onto the salesman. You got to get these things off my lot no matter what. So that being said, when you take a dealer that say he's got say an average size dealer, he's got 25 EVs sitting on his lot that are 180 days, and now he's paying $500 a month. Folks, you do the math.
Yeah.
Then you cut that vehicle loose, because at no matter what, you tell your managers, cut it loose, get it out of here.
Take a loss.
So now you've been paying on it for 180 days.
Yeah.
Now you're taking a loss. You probably are paying too much for the trade-in, hoping that it's decent. You get it through your service department and don't get a $3,000 bill on that. And then put that out there, and hopefully somebody comes in and wants to buy that internal combustion engine trade-in.
Yeah. And maybe possibly you'll make some of your money back on that particular transaction. But no, they're losing thousands. That whole thing is just, well, you know how I feel about EVs. Nobody, and a lot of people do want them. And for a lot of people, it makes sense. If you live in an inner city and you got one of them teeny little EVs and you have a place to plug it in at night, then it makes sense. You're not going very far. Your commute is 3, 4, 5 miles.
Right. Well, you remember me saying my wife and I went to Vegas, and the guy who picked us up, the Uber guy, was in a Tesla.
Sure.
And he said he was saving money per week, running in between the casinos, the hotels, and all that. And it made sense to me. I'm going to ask you about your car. But here's what I'm wondering. How long do you drive that car and the battery is still good? Well, driving the car probably helps the battery out and recharging it better than one sitting on a lot for 180 days. Remember, we used to call that lot rot.
Lot rot.
So
look what happens to just a
to
regular battery.
Yes.
When a truck sits on, it's just got a regular battery, 2 batteries. If it's a diesel, those batteries go dead. And if they go dead long enough and you're not taking care of them, they're no good anymore.
You're going to have some problems. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that being said, I wish the dealer business is earn and turn, earn and turn, earn and turn. And we both did that for a long time. But listen, you got to have the right product. You got to have the right people.
Yep.
And the longer those vehicles sit, the less folks, car salesmen are on commission. Okay. I know that might be earth-shattering news for a lot of people, but if they're not making any money, they're not staying. They're going to the next place. But here's the advantage the big whales, the big dealers have. A lot of the smaller dealerships, the independents, the mom and pops, they don't have the cash reserves in most cases that the big boys do. So the big boys will be able to gobble them up. And I think we're going to see more and more of that.
Yeah. No, and you will, and the Lithias, and
Auto Nations,
the Auto Nations, the Billions,
CarMax.
CarMax.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to see more of those big chains, and trust me, that is not what you want.
No.
It's definitely not what you want, because then what happens is they own a region, and then they do what they want.
And you are a number, folks.
Absolutely.
I know Smiling Jack that comes out there and meets you and everything. You think he's the best thing since sliced bread. You are a number.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Because again, they don't have to try because there's no competition. They'll take over a whole region, and we've seen it.
Right.
So yeah, it's a bad deal.
Hey, how much do I have time for
Yep.
a zig? Zig Ziglar. Okay.
1 minute.
The price of success is much lower than the price of failure. Thank you, Zig.
There we go. So when we come back, there's more stuff in the news, but again, it's all the same. You've heard it all. You've heard it all already. But I do want to talk about what happened in Poland, because that was a mess. And there's a reason I want to talk about it. It's because of the wording that you're going to hear out of these news organizations that it torques my head bolts. We'll just say it that way. So we'll talk about that when we come back. And I don't know, we'll talk about some other stuff too. KTGO 1090 and 92.7, the flag. We will be just a couple of minutes. Hang tight.
We got sponsors this segment?
Yeah, we could do sponsors. Should I tell them why we got kicked off of social media? Okay, I still can't believe that. Such nonsense.
You're going to do that. This will be on air, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It
Yeah,
will.
I think you should. I'll laugh.
It's a little crooked. I can't wait to get a real studio going.
Yeah.
Black Wolf 2. I don't know who that is, but they're watching. So.
Cool.
Okay.
Ready.
We ready? Alrighty, here. Shit. Damn it. I think I got it. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're back. Just so everybody knows, not Drew, I got us kicked off of social media for a month, which, if you know anything about social media, if you're not posting for a whole month, it's a death sentence. You got to start all over. And it's 100% my fault, but I would do it again because I think it's nonsense. So here's what happened. I just happened to post that there were 39 sleeps left till Christmas. Unless you do meth, then there's like 6. That's all I said, and that's against community standards. Of course
it is.
Of course, I could go commando under a see-through skirt
and try to use the women's bathroom at Target.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I could definitely,
and that'd still be okay.
Yeah, that would be fine if that was on social media.
But there's nothing wrong with this country.
No,
Yeah.
no. So,
well, shame on you.
Yeah. So that's what happened. I said it. I'm guilty, but it's true. and sometimes the truth
Were
hurts.
you ever on Epstein's plane? I need to know that now
I-
before we continue this show.
I was not. I was not, because I tell you, if I was, I'd probably making a lot more money than I'm making now.
That's right. That's right.
So, yeah. So no,
Okay.
definitely not. Really quick.
Okay.
Really quick. I know we got to do sponsors,
Right.
but so there's an explosion on
You mentioned Poland.
on a train. Yeah.
My
So let me see here.
mom's
Warsaw.
mother was Polish. That came over.
Hold on.
Siewierski.
An explosion that damaged a Polish railway track on a route to Ukraine was an unprecedented act of sabotage. Hold on. That's what makes me mad, because I've seen 3 different news organizations use the term sabotage. Why? Why? What would be another word for sabotage that they don't want anybody to? Terrorism. It was an act of terrorism, but they don't want to say that.
The word police.
Yeah, so they're calling it was sabotage. No, it was a terrorist act, and it could have been a lot worse, but it's a big deal because Poland, they don't have open borders. As a matter of fact, you try to sneak into Poland, you'll be lucky to get out of there alive. They do not play. They make it very well known that you are not welcome if you're sneaking in.
You know, the other day when we were talking about this, the border and all that, why, as liberal as Canada is, why didn't they say to our 20 million illegal immigrants?
Oh yeah, why didn't they just
say we'll take them?
What are you talking about?
Why wouldn't they take them?
That's a good.
Could it be the money? Could it be the money?
Well, of course, nobody wants them. That's the whole point. No, all these other countries, well, except for the UK, they're taking them. Yeah. But of course, Canada doesn't want all those illegals because they have to pay for them, and they don't have the money to pay for them. Well, so, I mean,
well, I was just curious. You know, everybody likes to tell us how we should operate this country. Well, we should have open borders and we should let everybody and their brother.
Well, here's my question: if America's so bad, then how come all these millions of people are trying to sneak in?
That's a good question.
Why don't they sneak into the Congo or
nobody's breaking into Russia?
No, they're not. Yeah. They're not breaking into Russia. They're not breaking into Nigeria.
No.
I
wonder why that is.
Yeah. They're not breaking into Nova Scotia.
And they come up through Central South America, go through Mexico. How beautiful is that? Why wouldn't you stay there?
Yeah, Mexico's a beautiful place.
It's a great place.
Yeah. Stop in Puerto Vallarta. Get a job.
Have a drink.
Yeah. Hang out on the beach. No, they don't do that. They want to come here. But our country is, it's the worst country ever. If you happen to be a liberal woman under the age of 45, you think this is the worst place on the planet and you want to leave.
You know what we should do? We should hire about 50 people, send them to these different countries. They want to stay, and the whole time they're waving the American flag. The whole time.
Oh yeah, no, they wouldn't last.
What would happen?
They would come back probably in a pine box.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, you can't. It's just, to me, it's just complete. It's stupidity. It's not even nonsense. It's stupidity. How dumb do you have to be to think that we are the worst country on the planet and we are the most racist country on the planet?
I don't understand that, because do you know what our average mom and dad, student loans and everything are paying for a college education for these people? Over $43,000 a year to educate people like AOC.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Can you get your money back, your tax dollars back on one of those deals?
Whatever.
Misappropriation of tax funds or something?
Yeah.
Is there some kind of rule or regulation?
There should be. I mean, it's insane. I can't believe that our country even allows anything like that in the first place. You come over here from well, if you're, if you're our neighbor to the east, you come over from Somalia,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then you hate America, you hate the state, you hate the city,
And steal
you
millions.
steal millions, send it back to Somalia, all while saying that we're racist and we're terrible people.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me
What
at
a
all.
country what an armpit of the world that is. And how intelligent are you to get on a boat with some machine guns and go to try to take a U.S. ship?
Yeah.
But most of the time it's
Well,
oil
that's
tankers.
not Somalia. That's
Yeah.
obviously Venezuela.
Well,
that
that's
you're talking about.
down. Well, those guys, they fired on a ship.
Yeah.
Now, somebody in Venezuela had somebody in the United States' phone number because they immediately called the U.S. because 2 destroyers were on their way and probably several aircraft to wake them up. And they were on the phone and begging, telling them it's a big mistake. And then they fired the Venezuela captain, which how did he even get to be a captain?
Wow.
Oh, he must have went to one of our colleges.
Yeah. Probably for free, air quotes, free.
That's right.
Jeez. Okay, really quick. Cartoons Williston, get down there and get your auto start. Mondak Hardware. Only go there if you actually want somebody to help you and be nice to you. If you want some kid to brush you off and run the other way when he sees you, then you can go to the big box store. My Pillow and More.
Oh yeah, did you see the mattresses?
Yeah, they're coming in. I'm hoping by the weekend they'll all be ready to sell and priced and all
Lily, just beautiful mattresses.
Yeah, the Helix.
Helix. Listen, I had a young man today come in while I was guarding the storefront while the wife ran some errands. He had broken his back. It was just a shame, young guy, and he said, "Sir, do you finance?" And you know what? It was nice to say because Lori in Brooklyn set up financing with the company.
Absolutely.
And you might go, well, why would you have to finance them? Well, you could go buy one out of the garage for $400 or $500.
Right.
And then you're going to come see us anyway. Because we have people that have done those and they find out after about 6 months, they're ready to shoot each other.
Yeah. You're not going to get any good sleep.
Yeah, come on, folks. You get what you pay for. There's a difference. There's a difference in a Yukon Denali and a Mitsubishi Highlander.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
So if you've got back issues, neck issues, and some of the pillows, Eric, just blew me away. I tried them. I was trying them today. But folks, listen, if you want some real sleep, some real relaxation, the chiropractors recommend the Helix.
Yeah.
You got to come try these. We've got the showrooms full of them now. And here's the other thing.
Hold on. Oh. You got to wait. We'll pick this up when we come back. We got to take a break.
Sorry, I was so excited.
Yeah, you always get excited when we talk about my pillow. KTGO 1090 and 92.7 The Flag. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Audio -03. There we go. Okay. All righty. Let's see what we got going here. Black Wolf 2, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. We're excited on our first day on YouTube. Until we get kicked off of YouTube for saying something stupid.
That's right.
You know what's funny? We're on a conservative Christian radio station, and we get kicked off of social media, and we don't get fired from the radio station.
No.
Think about that.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I got to call him, tell him about the toy and food drive,
Yeah.
December 6th, Saturday. We got to get that hooked up.
Yeah, we got to get. Well, we're going to need internet down there is our problem. I mean, I'm sure the Comrex is still in Watford. And we can go get it and get set up, but
Well, I need
not
to get
without
my
internet.
sandwich board sign down there.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I didn't get to say, because somebody was rattling off about My Pillow and More, I didn't get to say that it is now the fourth segment, and on the fourth segment, we talk about whatever we want, just like we did the first
Should
three.
I go back to My Pillow?
And I think you've done enough.
I was going to finish off with a lady who listens to another radio guy for over 50 years. Didn't know where the store was, and I did that live remote today. And she came in, bless her heart. What a sweetie. She got some 400 count sheets.
Very nice.
Daughter bought some sheets.
She's a dreamers.
She bumped into the cutout of Mike Lindell and screamed.
Oh,
thought a man was attacking her. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I can see that. It's you have to admit those life-size cutouts of Mike Lindell, they can be creepy. The eyes follow you. It's kind of weird.
That's right.
So anyway, what do you do? I see you've got something going over here.
Well, I love the wife jokes.
No.
And I do. How about this?
Oh.
If a man opens the car door for his wife, you can be sure of one thing: either the car or the woman is new.
Oh, okay.
Little
That's
automotive.
it.
Because you know how you don't want your door slammed.
That's it. I'm calling the police.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
That's too much. That is too much. Okay. So what else? I mean, I'm just so tired. I'm tired of the news. You know what I want? I want one construction to be done in Williston, since they did say it was the end of October. I'd love for that to be done. And I would love for the weather to break so we can get some snow. We're going to need some snow, or the farmers are going to be crying next spring.
Well, I'm excited. We just for the fast food restaurants, because we really needed them. It can be a challenge to get in and out quickly. The Taco Bell came here, did 32,000. It was a record for the state of North Dakota. I don't know for the country, but for the state of North Dakota, a Taco Bell, $32,000 in one day.
Yeah.
There's a Pizza Ranch.
The Pizza Ranch is getting close. The building's up. They're just installing the kitchen.
And
probably.
I heard rumors of Burger King, which is way overdue. The McDonald's here has been in the top 5 in the nation during the oil booms. Folks, I remember my son-in-law, who works for one of the major oil companies. He said, Dad, when I was first out here, you'd wait in line for an hour, and then somebody'd come out and McDonald's. Sorry, we're out of food.
Yeah. No, even though I'm not a huge fast food guy, it's still nice. It's nice to have the option. I've never ate at Pizza Ranch. I don't know if their pizza is any good. I prefer Strike Zone Pizza. The bowling alley here in town has,
Oh yeah, just great people.
Yeah, nice people, but they have good pizza.
Speaking of the town and the growth and everything, what's amazing, I've been here 8 years now, and I still bump into people every once in a while, and they've recognized me from the television commercials or radio or wherever they go. And some of them will say, and bless their hearts, some of them will say, I wish Williston could go back to the 12,000 that it used to be. And I understand that, but I tell them in a gentle, nice way, and I understand that, but that horse has already left the barn.
Yeah.
She's not going back.
No. Well, and why would you want to go back? I understand, maybe your parents were wealthy or whatever, or maybe you have some oil rights or something like that. But to go back to the 12,000 people means you're going back to poverty for most of those people.
And where do your kids, what's going to happen? Your kids are going to grow up, and where are they going to go to work?
Well, yeah, they're going to leave.
They're going to leave, and then you don't get to see your grandkids. Yeah, I think growth is a good thing. unless it's like Joe Biden wanting to bring 20 million illegal aliens
That's
in the country.
different kind of growth.
And listen, I'm not against people coming to this country. For God's sakes, my grandfather's father brought him over when he was a baby from Hungary. On my mom's side, they came over from Poland. And thank God they did, because you saw what the Nazis did to the Hungarian Jews, the Polish Jews.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Well,
terrible.
Yeah. And obviously, I'm not against legal immigration.
No, of course
I am
not.
against illegal immigration, because then you can't count them. You don't know who they are. You don't know why they're here. You don't have any of that information, and that is dangerous.
And I will
And
argue this.
Hold on, and if you don't believe it's dangerous, why don't you go to London, go to the Whitechapel neighborhood, and walk around there after dark?
Yeah. And I will argue this. I love Canada. I used to go up there and buy vehicles all the time. But they would check me out about every third or fourth trip. They'd pull me over, search the car and all that. I can't figure out why. But I asked them one time, I said, you let somebody in from Zambia or some African country, he could have killed his entire village.
Yeah.
Because they don't have a computer.
Right.
System.
So there'd be no way.
So you'll let him in, and then you can search my history to 1980.
Yeah.
And you want to give me crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. The whole thing, I don't know. It's just how the woke world works, but the woke is starting to go away. Thank the Lord. It's you see more and more every day. You've got more and more schools out there with turning point clubs and different types of Christian clubs, if the school will allow them to have a Christian club, because a lot of schools won't allow that. Now, you could have any kind of club you want. You could probably get away with a Satan club, but you can't have a Christian club in a lot of schools still in America.
Or you can't serve pork on Tuesday.
Exactly.
Or whatever, or pork rinds in the cafeteria. Yeah.
No.
But the Christians, no, that's different.
Yeah. Nope. You got to have beef on your pizza, because you can't have sausage.
Right.
Stupid.
Hey, I got a quick question for you. National minimum wage across the country is $7.25 an hour. I've been out here for 8 years. I know of no one. I have never even met somebody that in Williston, North Dakota, that was at $7.25 an hour.
No, I think the lowest you find would probably be a high school kid at some burger joint making $12.50. That's the least you're going to see.
Yeah.
And trust me, if it's $12.50, it's a high school kid.
So the $7.25 is a guideline.
Well,
you have to at least make sure that your employee is at $7.25.
Yeah,
so federal law.
Yeah, it's federal law. That's why. But and I got to be honest. I think that should obviously be raised, even in states where the economy is way down and it's very desolate, certain parts of the South and that type of thing. Come on, $7.25 when even down there gas is still $2.25.
So you would work an hour and still have to borrow $2 from your coworker to get a Big Mac meal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I don't get it.
Yeah, none of that makes
Here's
any
something else
sense.
I don't get: foreclosure rates. But I wondered, where are the most foreclosures? Well, that they're admitting to anyway. Can you believe it? Florida, and I think that's an insurance issue.
Yeah.
Delaware, which is blue, and Nevada, which is, I don't know, 50-50 on being blue state. But Nevada is understandable because of tourism. During an economic crunch, your average person doesn't have the money to go gamble.
Well, and Las Vegas itself is really, they're trying to ace out the middle class. They only want high rollers. I've read a bunch of articles on that. They're trying to just change that whole concept there. But what they're doing is they're just really taking the place down. The middle class made Las Vegas, and I think that it will just be a ghost town if they keep this up.
Who has less foreclosures?
Who?
South Dakota.
Wow, I believe
Less
that.
than anybody else. That's good for South Dakota.
Yeah.
Montana's down there. Let me see.
Okay,
if
we
I
got to
have-
go. KTGO 1090 92.7 The Flag. Peace out. Yeah, that got away from us. That's okay.
Sorry. When we get a studio, I'm gonna get a clock. But I never thought I would have to,
Yeah.
because I never believed you could do an hour anyway. Remember that?
Yeah. Cut that. Go back here. We went over by 2 seconds.
Oh shit.
That's okay. I don't care. Cut that. Hold on here.
Wow. Fucking Illinois.
Hey, we're still live.
Oh shit. Sorry. They're real high in foreclosure. They're real high in foreclosure.
Yeah. Let me get rid of this.
We
Live
just got
feed.
booted off it.
Oh, that is funny.
Is there any platforms left?